Everybody, it's Chris from the Evermore podcast, your Newcastle United podcast on the Evermore YouTube channel. Just here with a quick reaction video, really, guys, about the news of the new fixtures coming out today for the Premier League season ahead. So we're just going to have a little look at it, really run through, pick out some key fixtures and let you know what we think, and what ones could be tricky and could be a little bit difficult. Just before I do a little bit of housekeeping, just in case you listen for the first time, welcome on board. Nice to see you. If you haven't, click that button, please click that like and subscribe button and whack the notification bell too, and that'll let you know whenever one of our videos is coming out, whether it be live or pre-recorded and uploaded later. And would love to have you on board. We're just gone over that 1,000 subscriber mark, so we're really thankful for everybody who's done that. We've had some really nice comments over the closed season, so it's been absolutely brilliant. We've got loads of content coming in the coming weeks, loads of specials, and then obviously next season we're going to be back with another weekly Evermore podcast that we love to do, and we love you guys to be involved with live at 6:30 on a Wednesday. So listen, let's stuck into the fixtures here. So the fixtures were launched earlier on today. We were all kind of waiting to see who our first game of the season was going to be. So I'm just going to share my screen here. Hopefully if you're watching on a full screen, it's probably a bit easier to read there. So I've got my little aids here next to me just to help me. So the first game of the season, we're home on the 6th of August, which is against Nottingham Forest, which I believe is a 3 p.m. kickoff. So that's a great first game for us, really. It's also the return of the Ginger Pearlo that is Jack Cole back to St James's Park. So I'm sure you have a bit of a point to prove, but we couldn't have asked for a better first fixture, really, in my opinion. I think, it's great to see Forest back. Me and Mark both said that. And when they came up, and certainly when they're in the playoffs even as well, we said we'd love to see Forest back. They've been out of the big time for ages, and they're a huge club, won the European Cup, loads of, kind of history and Brian Clough, etc., etc. So it's great to see them back in the big time, but let's not kid ourselves. We want to do them on the first game of the season, and you're hoping for a newly promoted side at St James's Park. So we've absolutely scored big time there. August can get a little bit prickly though, but for me, there's two ways to look at it. You can either be gutted that you've got these teams, or you can be happy to get them out of the way. So obviously after Forest, we've got Brighton after that on the 13th away at the Amex. That could be a tough game, but Brighton need to strengthen big time because they've just sold a few big players, and they've lost their main man Dan Ashworth to Newcastle United as well. So Brighton need to make some moves in that window, and you never know, their bloody manager could end up the England manager if Southgate keeps going the way he's going. He could blow out of the World Cup, or maybe beforehand. Obviously after that, we've got one of the big boys. We've got Manchester City at St James's. That's a huge game on the 20th. I mean, like I said, there's two ways to look at it. You can either be pissed off you got them, or you can be happy to get them out of the way. Me personally, I'm happy to get them out of the way. I think at the start of the season as well, a lot of their players will be, had a lot of football. They've had huge grueling seasons, playing in this silly, Euro League, the Nations League that all the international teams are playing in. They've got next to no rest. They come straight back pre-season, and then they'll be back into a heavy Premier League season, and they've got this crazy World Cup in November as well. So I mean, Manchester City have got an unbelievable side, obviously, with Haaland coming to St James's as well. On the 20th, that'll be a hell of a spectacle for a lot of the fans to see as well. But hopefully Callum Wilson will be outscoring the big man there that day. Then we've got Wolves after that, and then Liverpool away at Anfield to finish off August. So yeah, August is kind of a little bit of 50-50, I think. Winnable games in Forest, Brighton and Wolves. Manchester City and Liverpool, very tough games. It'll be a good litmus test to see, how the new players hopefully we've signed have kind of hit the ground running against the biggest and the best in the league. So you get them two out of the way first, and you don't have to worry about that creeping up towards the back end of the season. September's looking a bit more generous, I think. Huge game that jumps out on the 17th. Which is the home game against Bournemouth. So for Eddie Howe, that'll be a really special game as well. Even for Callum Wilson as well, and Ryan Fraser, the ex-Bournemouth players too. But for Eddie Howe, that'll be a huge game, and I'm sure he'll get a massive reception from those travelling Cherry fans as well. And it's great to see them back in the big time as well on the 17th of September. Got a bit of London teams in there as well. We've got Palace as well as St James's and West Ham. So that won't be an easy month, but you look at that and you think, we've got a good chance of points there. Rolling into October, I've got some good winnable games, I think, as well in October. It does get a bit tough as well. We've got Manchester United in there. We've got Spurs away. We've got Villa at home. Villa and Newcastle have suddenly become a bit of a grudge match over the years. So I think that'll be an interesting one. But we've got Fulham thrown in the mix there and Brentford as well. I still think Brentford are going to have a second season syndrome personally. I don't think they'll be anywhere near as good as they have been this previous season. So I fancy Brentford to be struggling in the relegation fight. Hopefully we won't be. Moving into November now, this is where the league gets a bit funny. So because of the crazy World Cup that takes place from the 21st of November to the 18th of December. And obviously all the England fans will be hoping that England get to the final. We've only got 2 games in November. We've got Southampton away, and then we've got Chelsea at home to kind of finish off our November. So yeah, two different games there. I mean, Southampton is still a very streaky side, yet they make moves in the transfer window, but it's just opened. You know, if they lose James Ward-Prowse, that's a huge blow for them. I think they'll struggle massively next season if they do that. You know, but Chelsea at home again, you know, we have known to pull a rabbit out of the hat on that one as well, but that's a really tough side to take on. But I'm hoping by November, because the way those fixtures have played out, you know, with the exception of, you know, the 2 big boys in the first month, we've got some decent opportunities there to get points on the board and hopefully get us in a good league position, you know, by the time the kind of World Cup break comes along. So back on the 26th, Boxing Day, which is a huge fixture. We all look out for that in terms of, do we have to travel away? We do have to travel away down to Leicester, so about 3 and a bit hours away from Newcastle in the car. Jump down on the train, maybe change at Peterborough or something like that. So it's not too far away for an away game for a Boxing Day fixture. Could be worse. You could be down in Brighton, Southampton, or in the Big Smoke. So Leicester isn't all that bad for travelling mags. And then we've got Leeds United at home on New Year's Eve, so that'll be a tasty one as well, I imagine. You know, not too bad for the Leeds fans, to be fair. A couple hours travel, but for us, we'll be at home, so that'll be brilliant. And I'm sure the town will be rocking that night as well. Going into January, you know, we've got 3 London clubs in January. We've got Arsenal, Fulham, and then Palace. So again, yeah, they're tricky games, but like you say, you know, we've got a home game against Fulham there as well. 2 away fixtures against the Gunners and Palace as well. So that'll be a tough one in January. Into February, you know, we've got a bit of a repeat of the 2 teams earlier on in the season. We've got West Ham at St James's, Bournemouth away. So again, that'll be special for Eddie Howe travelling down to, you know, to the Bournemouth stadium, you know, where we spent so many years and so many good memories there. We've got Liverpool at home, and then we've got Brighton at home back to back. So they're very, very, very big games. And then you go into March. By this point, you'd like to think we're nowhere near a relegation fight. I hope to God we're not. I hope we're more pushing towards the kind of top 6, top 7 of the table. But we've got an interesting month in March. We've got City away at the start. So that's a very tough one. If you think, again, Liverpool and City very close together in the fixture calendar there. These could potentially be rearranged, you know, depending on where City and Liverpool are in the you know, the bid for European football, etc., etc. So it could get moved. Depending on what happens there. We've also got Wolves and Forest chucked in there. And April, again, is a tasty month in April. You know, we hope we're nowhere near a relegation fight come these 2 months back to back, because there's some nasty games in here. So we start April at home against Manchester United. Obviously, this is going to be Eric Ten Hag's Manchester United. We'll have to see what that rebuilding process is like and who he signs. We've got Brentford away, Villa away, Spurs at home, Everton away, and Southampton at home. So there is some winnable games in there. Aston Villa made some real good moves in the transfer window. If Gerrard can get them up another level, they're going to be a tough team to take on next season, as much as our fans will hate to admit that, because there's a real hatred built up between the 2 sets of supporters. And then May, we've got Arsenal at home, Leeds away, Leicester at home, and Chelsea away. So that kind of finishes up the fixtures there. As I said, you know, these could be rearranged, you know, 2, 3, 4 times over. You've got European football, you've got, you know, Sky and BT fucking around with fixtures the way that they do and pissing around and moving times and all sorts of stuff. FA Cups as well. So, you know, those fixtures could change. And obviously with the World Cup thrown in the mix as well, you know, who knows what kind of chaos that's gonna cause. But I think the fixtures have been relatively kind for us there. I mean, we do have some rough months coming in, but there never seems to be a consistent run, I don't think, of not going to win. You know, like we've had in previous seasons. You know, we've got a bit of a tough game, we might struggle to win, but these are 2 games we can get results in, and then maybe another tough game. So it seems to be a fairly decent, balanced fixture list, in my opinion. You know, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. You know, but the way we finished the season last season, you know, we were one of the kind of informed teams with the top 2 or top 3 form teams in the league. You know, so if Eddie Howe can get the lads back in pre-season, let's face it, we won't have loads of players away on international duty. You know, certainly not in the England fixtures. You know, obviously we'll have Kieran Trippier probably go to the World Cup. I don't know if many of our rest of our players will end up going, really. You know, obviously we'll have the Brazilian lads and stuff as well. But I think, you know, our players should be in decent nick come pre-season, because they haven't all been involved in the kind of European stupid Nations League football that's been going on. So they should be having some good rest and come back strong. You know, we've seen Bruno relaxing. We've seen Joe Linton relaxing. We've seen Miggy banging in a couple of goals for Paraguay. We've seen, you know, ASM run up and down hills wherever he is on holiday, trying to get himself fit, which is great. It shows that the lads are really keen and want to come back and impress anyhow. And, you know, hopefully we can bring in some brilliant additions to the squad that's going to just help us kick on another level. You know, like I said, we finished the season strong. You know, we were one of the most feared teams, I think, in the fixture list for a lot of the clubs in the Premier League. So I think, you know, if Eddie Howe can get the team back with that kind of mentality again, ready to go again, ready to push further up the league, stay out of this relegation fight, because none of us want that shit, especially when it comes to April and May, when there is some nasty fixtures very, very close together there. We don't want to be anywhere near the relegation picture. But if last season's form's anything to go by, that won't happen at all. I don't think this manager will let that happen. I think he'll want to push on another level. He'll want to improve himself, and he'll want to improve the players as well. But let us know what you guys think of the fixtures in the comments below. You know, again, I said I think they're quite fair. You know, the rest of the boys will have their opinion as well in the Evermore team, but we'd love to hear what you guys say. So, you know, drop us a comment. We always do our best to reply to as many as we can. And as I mentioned at the start, if you haven't already, please click that like and subscribe button. Smash the notification bell as well, so every time we have a video coming out, you'll know, and you can jump on, have a little look on your way to work or whatever you want to do. If you just want to sneak away and get a bit of peace from the kids and have somebody talk about Newcastle United for 10 or 12 minutes. So we love to do that. But this is Chris signing off now. We'll be back next week with another Evermore. We've got a special coming up as well, so make sure you check that out. It's all about the transfer window and about the finances that we can or can't spend. So that's going to be a really, really good show, guys. So make sure you jump back in next week at 6:30 for that. And until then, let's keep supporting the team of McCoy United. Let's look forward to next season. We're going to have a much better season than we've had in previous ones gone by, and we're going to stay out of that relegation fight. This is Chris signing off. I'll catch you later. Cheers, guys.